hosting Arkansas as Ole Miss number 18 looks to stay the course. You know how I like to wrap up my Saturday nights, Spears?
Tonight, 10:30 p.m., SEC ESPN Network. Join Dari Noka, analyst Booger McFarland, who, by the way, is not allowed to be on the sideline of the LSU game because he's a hater. And then Chris Dory, as they discuss all SEC news.
That's a good read out of SEC Now.
Cool.
All right, let's look.
And streaming live on Watch ESPN.
Way to go, Marcus.
Which I use often.
Congratulations.
Let's look who's taking the next step, presented by Regions Bank. It is time to pick the games. Let's get going with what we have up in Knoxville. South Carolina at Tennessee. This game's on the SEC Network with Tom Hart and Andre Ware and Laura Rutledge. And this has been a series that there hasn't been a lot of separation in recent years. You would think there would be the way Tennessee's playing, but as we said, South Carolina's playing with a little bit of an edge. They got some juice to them.
No question. I think this game will be very competitive, but I think Jalen Hurd and Joshua Dobbs is too much in this game. We're going Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee, like we mentioned earlier, could be sitting here as a top 10, 15 team right now. I think they finally hit their stride, learn how to finish games out. Tennessee today.
I think Tennessee big. I think they're going to take care of business. This is a team that's on a mission, trying to right the wrongs of the earlier season mistakes. They're going to prove a point today.
Correct.
Tennessee across the board. The news out of Georgia this morning is that Grayson Lambert will start at quarterback for Georgia. You know how disruptive of a week it has been. Kentucky at Georgia. It's coming up in moments right here on the SEC Network as Matt Stinchcomb and Dave Neal and Casey Smith will be on the call. Bounce back for Georgia or the edge of the cliff for Georgia?
One of the cool things about college football is a team can be like a family. And I'm really interested to see if they have Mark Richt back today for the University of Georgia. Do these players have his back? I think they'll have his back. I think they're going to play well today.
Well, let's hope they do, because families also have divorce attorneys, and that thing got really, really ugly this week, and it needs to turn up.
UGA for me, I'm going with the University of Georgia. I think by them putting Grayson Lambert back in the game, it helps him. He's had those opportunities early in games to have success. He knows what it looks like. I have UGA today.
Yeah, Kentucky's midseason slide continues. I'm a little worried about Kentucky moving forward. I really am, but I think Georgia gets it done today.
I think Tim's right. I think the players will rally. A week too late, but they'll rally today.
Hey, listen, you know what Coach Richt said. He said, we're here, we're working together. They acknowledge some things within the staff that are commonplace to when you're having struggles, but we will see what happens today with Georgia. At Florida, they say it is time to win themselves an SEC East. Vandy is at Florida here.
I just don't think Vandy has enough offense. I'm going with the Gators.
Derek Mason is going to make them earn everything on offense. I really feel that way. But Jim McElwain and this Florida defense is too much for Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt has turned the football over all year long. Going against Florida is not going to alleviate those concerns. Florida big today, making a statement again.
No low contendere. No contest. Florida wins.
7 o'clock tonight, the primetime game right here on the SEC Network is Texas A&M hosting Auburn. Kyler Murray at quarterback. What is this guy's first, 3-4 steps? He's like lightning.
Yeah, he's got some movement. He's
Unbelievably
explosive.
fast. So you get to see Kyler Murray now making his second start at quarterback against an Auburn team that I feel like as the season has gone on, and they've given us reason with how they started, we're talking less and less about. Perhaps on the road now at Texas A&M, they do give us something to talk about. A&M's been a bit fickle at times. Which way does it go? Auburn at Texas A&M.
I think with Kyler Murray's arm and his legs and their explosive receivers, I think it's too much offensively for Texas A&M. They get it done.
This is one of the most difficult picks I've ever had to make. Seriously, because I think A&M and the way they've looked against the run, and obviously Gus Malzahn is going to try to establish that in this game. He's going to try to give Auburn that edge in that way. But I agree with you, Tim. I think Kyler Murray is too much for Will Muschamp's defense right now, and not to mention all of the other guys that's on the outside. I'm taking A&M.
There's nothing in Auburn's backfield that worries me when it comes to the ground game. I think Peyton Barber's a solid back, but he's not a game changer. I think Kerryon Johnson's a solid player. Not the type of player we've seen in the Auburn backfield before. So I expect A&M's defense to play well. I like Texas A&M to get it done today. If Sean White was healthy, it might be a little bit different, but Texas A&M by double digits.
Don't forget, A&M ruined Auburn's season last year at Jordan-Hare. So is it going to be a reverse? No. A&M barely.
You know, but you think about last year with Auburn and how that went down
It's a
there.
scary game,
that was
Joe.
a game they just gave away there at the end with the late turnovers there. Then the big one tonight, 8 o'clock on CBS. LSU, number 2. Alabama, number 4. You know the matchups, the running backs that are involved in this one. We talked about the X factors possibly being the quarterbacks. You think that could be the case with Jake Coker? Is it enough with Alabama at home the way you set that game up? Do you go with the Tide?
Well, I think LSU might have the better player in Leonard Fournette. I think Alabama's got the better team. I'm going with Alabama in this game.
How do you say that name again?
Hey, zoom in on that right there.
Leonard.
Come on in on that right
Oh,
there.
you're bringing out the jewelry. You're bringing out the jewelry now. National championship
Louisiana
ring.
State
Little
University.
bling.
Going into Bryant-Denny today, listen, I think this Alabama defense is very, very good. I think they're the best in the country. I think as a whole, LSU has a better team.
You guys are spending the day together, LSU and Alabama. You're going to drive down to the game?
Yeah,
You're going to be at the game together?
He's sitting in the back seat, though. He doesn't know that yet.
You do know that
He didn't
ring
get
says
shotgun.
2003, though, right? Yeah.
Hey, been a long time, Tim.
Trying to put some shade on that ring.
Hey, that thing doesn't age a day. I don't care what he says.
All right, what do you got, McElroy?
I think this is going to be one of the best games in college football this year. I love these styles. These teams are cut from the same cloth. It's going to be extremely physical, and it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out type of a matchup. But at the end of the day, I like Alabama's defensive line a little bit better. I like what LSU does offensively, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to separate at wide receiver the same way they have. It's going to force Brandon Harris to throw into very tight windows, and Alabama's going to force a couple turnovers. I also expect Alabama to control the line of scrimmage and to get it done. Alabama, with a couple tricks up their sleeve, win the game by about a touchdown.
2 Alabamas, 1 LSU. Paul, what says you?
Marcus, you said LSU has the better team, and you may very well be right, but Alabama has the better coach, and that has been a difference a lot of times. Nick Saban loves games like this. Les Miles hasn't won a game like this in a while. Alabama wins.
Saban 6-3 against Les Miles. You know, they're playing that big game down there in Tuscaloosa, but the team that controls their own fate in winning the SEC West, these fans right here. Ole Miss is in control, and they host Arkansas today. Arkansas, a team that, boy, they put it to Ole Miss last year. All the turnovers, 30 points on the board, came up with a win. That's the 3:30 game right here. Arkansas at Ole Miss. Your pick.
Well, after a couple tough losses for Ole Miss, I think Hugh Freeze did a really good job of getting his team back on track, playing with an edge, playing with a stinger and momentum. I'm going to Ole Miss today.
You know what? As much as we talked about this Alabama-LSU game, this team right here can make today for both of those teams very irrelevant. So I'm going with Hotty Toddy today. I think they get it done. The defense has their stinger back.
I think Arkansas has no answer for Laquan Treadwell. He's going to have an enormous game, 150 yards plus. Laquan Treadwell takes this game over, and they get revenge over the Hawks.
You know, I really like Arkansas a lot.
You like Arkansas?
But I'm going to let this crowd tell me who's going to win. Are you ready?
Saturday. It begins right now with Kentucky and Georgia. Take it away, gentlemen.
It is a soggy